Kelley Bendele, and I'm the Benefits Director at Integrity HR Management. Today I wanted to talk to you about flexible spending accounts, or otherwise known as FSAs. They are not to be confused with health savings accounts, or what we know also as HSAs. That's another video. I did that video before doing this video. So this video is strictly about flexible spending accounts. So flexible spending account is a way for your employees to put money away pre-tax to pay for medical expenses, whether that be a deductible, or if they're on a cost-sharing community like with Sedera, like what we offer. They can also use it towards their IUA. They can use it for office visit copays, prescriptions. They can use it for dental work. They can use it for glasses, for contact lenses, eye exams. I can't remember if I said prescriptions, but they can use it for prescriptions. So they can use it for all these benefits, and they're able to take advantage of it on a pre-tax basis. In fact, they don't even need to be enrolled on a medical plan to be able to take advantage of this benefit. So it's really simple. For 2021, the maximum that an employee can put aside pre-tax is $2,750. And basically, the employee would say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and choose to have $1,000 divided out over however many checks are left in the year, and I want that to go pre-tax into this account. And the employee gets a debit card in the mail. It looks like any other debit card, and it functions just like a debit card. And they go and they swipe their card for these expenses, and then they're able to take advantage of being able to have that money there immediately, be able to take advantage of the pre-tax savings. So the way that it works is, let's use an example of, like, we have a renewal of January 1st. Everyone has a renewal, so do we. We renew January 1st. So our FSA renews, and our HSA, and our medical plans, and our dental stuff, everything renews January 1st. So here comes the end of this year, and we're like, okay, you need to make your elections for 2022. So basically, an employee would say, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, let's say they choose to put aside $1,000 for 2022. So they get their debit card in the mail, and then actually on January 1st, even though they probably haven't even been payroll deducted for that amount at that point, for even anything at that point, January 1st, if they actually went in to get dental care done, or maybe they had a procedure or pick up a prescription, anything, that money, that entire $1,000 is actually sitting there on the account as of January 1st. So that's a big deal, right? I mean, you don't have to wait to be payroll deducted $1,000 to be able to use $1,000. The money is there immediately. So that's a huge benefit, right? And that's why you'll also see a lot of optometrists. Like, you'll see a lot of optometrists around the end of the year start going, hey, you want to come in for your exam? Because what happens is everyone knows that most people fall on a calendar year basis. So they want to go in there, get their exam, and they want to kind of like already choose the glasses they want and everything. And then here comes January 1st, and they're like calling up and they're like, hey, run it. Okay, so it's like a big deal, because all of a sudden that money is just sitting right there, right? So that's a great benefit. You don't have to be enrolled on medical. In fact, you can actually, let's say you want to go pick up your child's prescription with that money that you put away pre-tax. You can still use it. You can still use that card for them. You can use it for anyone that you claim as a dependent on your taxes. So that is a big deal. Now, what's the con? So the con is that it's different from an HSA, because an HSA, that money is yours forever, in perpetuity, okay? So on an FSA, everyone knows if you don't use it, you lose it, okay? So actually what happens is, and I'll give you an example, that same employee that wants to put aside $1,000, so here comes December 31st, and they still have $500 sitting in there. They will actually have until March 15th of the next year, and that's because Integrity offers this extension. They have until March 15th to finish using that $500, okay? And so then here comes March 15th, and they still have $200 sitting in there. Well, then they forfeit it. okay? And it's not an integrity rule, and it's actually an IRS regulation, okay? You cannot get the money back, okay? So, and you only have so much time to use it. So I always tell employees when I go out to enrollment meetings, if they've never done it before, it is a phenomenal benefit. But I always tell employees, always start conservatively. Just start with what you know. Don't max out just because you can max out. This is not like an HSA that money is yours forever and ever and ever and ever. This is an FSA. So if you don't use it, you lose it. So don't just max out at whatever the max is, like for 2021, it's $2,750. Don't do that just because you can, unless you're going to have a surgery, or unless you're going to have a procedure, or unless those glasses you want the Versace frames, and so that you're going to pay a little bit more for all the bells and whistles and stuff like that. So unless that you're going to do something like that, don't max out. Just start with something like, okay, what do I pay every month on prescriptions? Okay, well, I spend $100 every month on prescriptions. Okay, well, then you want to put aside $100 every month for 12 months, so you want to say $1,200, okay? And then maybe go to the doctor twice, twice a year because of allergies or whatever, and so your copay maybe is $15. Okay, well, let's put aside $30 for the year as well. So just start conservatively, unless you actually know that you're having a surgery, a procedure, advanced imaging, or anything like that, like on the horizon, because it's you will forfeit that money. And what I want to say there is, the next question that people actually say, well, who gets to keep that money? Where does that money go? Oh, so Integrity keeps the money. So actually, what I want to let everyone know is what happens is a lot of employers don't offer FSAs because of a particular reason. Well, two reasons. One of the reasons is there's a lot of fees and costs associated with administering the FSA. And number two is also because this does happen, and there's always someone, but they don't constitute the major the big percentage of the population. But there are employees who will go, so January 1st, all my money is there. Well, I'm not sticking around here anyway, so I'm going to have my surgery, or I'm going to max out at $2,750. I'm going to have $2,750 on my card on January 1st. I'm going to go get my surgery on January 7th, and I'm going to quit on January 20th. And so who's left holding the bag, right? Well, the employer's left holding the bag. So the employer accepts liability on that. So that's why a lot of employers don't provide it, because they run the risk of accepting that, of having to absorb that cost if an employee leaves. And granted, most people don't do that, but there are people that do that. So Integrity actually accepts that liability 125%. So if an employee does that, our client doesn't face the liability, we face the liability. So we also pay all the admin costs, we pay all the administration, the costs associated with the cards, with just monthly admin costs that are associated, we pay for all that. So it is a big deal to be able to offer that benefit to your employees, because it doesn't cost you anything, and it doesn't even cost your employees anything. The second piece that I do want to talk about, because I think people forget about it, because there's two pieces to the FSA. There's the medical piece, and then there's the dependent care piece. And dependent care is really like for daycare or even for elderly care. And the way it works is you can actually put up to $5,000 every year into dependent care, okay? Now, remember how I said, hey, January 1st, that $1,000 was sitting there? So actually, dependent care does work differently. You only have, if you go swipe that card on March 15th to go pay for daycare, you only have what you've already been, whatever you contributed to it up until that point, okay? So it's cumulative. So whatever you've been payroll deducted up until that point, that's what's available. So a lot of times, a lot of people will have to pay out of pocket and then just turn around and get reimbursed. And the process is very quick. But I do want to use this example in this. And I laugh because I feel sorry for this lady that her ears probably burn every time I tell this story, but like, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago, I remember that she had put money away into dependent care, and it was like later on in the next year, like April, May, she contacted us. She sent an email and she said, hey, I had put $5,000 into daycare, into dependent care, and I need that money back because I didn't use it. And so I had to respond to her, and I had to tell her, I'm sorry, but that money is gone. I can't, I'm sorry that I can't give that money back to you. And it was, her employer was a very large client. And, it was like, well, hey, is there anything you can do? Can you make an exception? And it wasn't, it wasn't an internal rule. It was, I had to send actual wording for IRS regulation to show that you cannot give the money back. So all I could do was tell the employer, you're more than welcome to give her a check for $5,000 if you want to, but we can't give her the money back. And so it is a wonderful benefit to have, especially when you have things that are like on the horizon, when you can schedule them and you can know that, hey, my money's going to be there January 1st, especially from medical care, procedures, all sorts of, dental care, glasses. It is a big deal, but because that money's there immediately, we pay for all the admin costs, we administer, we accept the liability. It is a wonderful benefit to have, and it's something that we don't cost any extra, we don't charge any extra to our clients to be able to offer this benefit. So I wanted to take the opportunity to make my FSA video, because we did the HSA video, so this is the FSA one, and this is pretty standard for us to roll out to all of our clients. So, but if you ever have any questions, or feel like you would like for me to come out and do a meeting to just really educate your employees even more on how to use the benefit, I'm more than happy to do so. Always feel free to give me a call if you have any questions. And you can always reach me at Kelley@integrityhrm.com. Make sure you do KELLEY at integrityhrm.com. And until next time, please be kind to one another and take care. Thank you.